Hey Ricky.
Hello. Feeling better?
Yeah, finally get back.
That's good.
I was getting a really serious flu last week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of the flu season.
Yeah.
So the flu season. So somehow, if once
Yeah.
if you have a child, if your child get the flu, you
You get
immediately get the flu.
yeah, my parents they got the flu and I hopefully I don't get it.
Yeah, and this week, so we have. Let me see how many week we have. We have this week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. We have 7 weeks. So for now, and wait until other uh other other student come. So today I'm going to uh show you guys how to create a enterprise level project base.
Okay.
So from there, I pretty much I think about to give you guys like 1 or 2 weeks to make this kind of example over there.
Oh, okay. Sounds good.
Yeah. So it actually computer engineering is about how you design the project and the entire project scope.
Cool. Sounds good to learn. Good knowledge.
I'm going to first things to sign into my GitHub. Do you have any experience about um code version control?
Conversion control? I
Yeah,
I don't think so, no.
like GitHub, those kind of stuff.
I like know how to maneuver and like download like code off there, but I don't know how to like really like use like GitHub and all that, you
Okay,
know?
okay.
Yeah, because I use it for like modding like video games and all that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I grab some code from there and they have like pre like what like exes that you can run and then you have to type in certain commands and then it
Mm-hmm.
runs the mod and then
Oh yeah.
yeah it's that's the basics I have like of GitHub and all that. Yeah,
Yeah.
the most I've done is just like um what is it? I think it was an emulator that I had to get some like I had to run on the command
Uh-huh.
console and then run like a bunch of commands so that the Windows could understand that the emulator was
Yeah.
emulating a game. So that's the most I've done.
Yeah. How about 2 weeks ago, those kind of Docker
Oh,
installation?
yeah, so what was it? That was it was simple. It was pretty simple. Like I understood it right away.
Okay.
Yeah. Especially the Docker, like in your examples, the videos, right?
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
you were using like I don't know, it was probably an older version of Docker, probably.
Yeah.
And in the newer
That video
version,
is, yeah, go ahead.
yeah, and in the new one, you could copy the run per like command to
Yeah.
run the GitHub and download it right off the bat. Like it was really simple.
Yeah,
And
but
then
somehow it is really simple. Once so in the world, many of those kind of server is run by the Linux, not the Windows.
yeah, that's where what's it called? I have the Steam Deck, the console
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, and that runs on Linux. So I have to understand Linux. And it's kind
Yeah,
of
that's somehow it's kind of, you
yeah,
guys learn those kind
yeah.
of Windows things first because somehow Windows is pretty much easy than the Linux, typing those kind of command. But
Yeah.
once you move into the Linux, so that is pretty much a little bit harder than Windows,
Yeah.
like GUI, like those kind of GUI click.
Yeah, and also my first like experience with Linux,
Mhm.
it was relatively like an early version of trying to remember the name, the little penguin version. Like it was version 1. I forget the name. And I dual booted my desktop. Like it was
Yeah.
in like 2000, I think it was 2010 or 9 or somewhere around there.
Uh-huh.
I made a dual boot Linux and Windows, and I was so frustrated with like Linux. Like that was back in the day when I didn't know much about like the computer knowledge,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what like turned me off from Linux. But now I'm like understanding it more, and I'm like,
Yeah.
it's getting more in depth and more easier to use.
Yeah. Hey, Ricky, another Ricky.
Hey, Professor, how you doing?
Good,
Feeling better?
finally. Yeah, I feel better. Now it's kind of just get a little bit better back to the class.
Professor, I actually did have a question.
Yeah.
So I was looking at, creating my schedule for next semester,
Mm-hmm.
and I was looking at the sustainable engineering design. I think it's 5408.
Yeah.
The class after this. I
Uh-huh.
saw that there was only one section, and that's with Professor Gaspicani.
Uh-huh.
Did they tell you anything about adding another section, or are they gonna see if that section is gonna get filled first before they make a new one? Have they told you anything about that?
Actually, after this term, I'm splitting from the CCSB.
Okay.
I'm splitting, yes.
Okay. So you wouldn't be running that class.
No.
Okay.
This is my last term.
Okay.
That's why I say, so you guys don't worry about that. So I will make everyone's easy on this.
Okay, thank you. Where are you going, if you don't mind me asking?
East Coast.
Okay. Nice.
Okay, I'll start. I'm not going to wait until 6:05. So today I'm going to give you this kind of lesson. First thing, I'm going to open a Lucy. Lucy char. This way. Oh yeah, this way. Okay, so for now, I'm going to show you a real project that I will work on. And for you, you will go to after the lecture, say and do your best to say how much you can set up everything there. So for the CSUSB ITS department, we will build a project called Tech Tool. A tech tool. And at the CSUSB, we have many subsystems. So for the tech tool outside, we will have Cisco. We have Cisco, which is this is the actual phone we will have another one called online directory. And we will have also how many of you knows that your MyCoyote is run by the PeopleSoft?
Yeah, I heard. I
Yeah.
heard that name.
Yeah, PeopleSoft. So now the first question I'm going to ask you about it. So for PeopleSoft, what kind of data should be stored at the PeopleSoft? What kind of data will be stored at the PeopleSoft?
Like logins.
Yes. When you say login, can we see jobs? If you don't have a job, how can you have the record at the PeopleSoft, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, for the tech tool, this project is about someone asked me to make this tech tool to manage the Cisco and the PeopleSoft account. So for the tech tool, what kind of component we will have? What kind of component we can have? When you log into the tech tool, do you want anyone who has an account that can access to the tech tool? Definitely not. Now, how we can make this kind of component to stand there as the first gate for somebody login to pass away, to get access into the system. The first thing is we need authentication, right? So keep this authentication. I'll put the authentication at the left, at the right side. So once they log in, they access and pass the authentication. For the tech tool, will there be a component for someone to log into this portal to manage all of those kind of sites, like at the site subsystem, like change phone display name? Right? We need this component. And by here, when you design a system privilege, do you want anyone who has access past the authentication, anyone can access to your phone name? Yes or no?
Professor, there seemed to be a little bit of lag. Can you repeat that, please?
What about now?
Yes, we can hear you clear.
Okay, so my question was, a user logging into tech tool, was this user able to have this permission to make changes to those kind of phone display name?
Would it be yes, but just for themselves, or?
I would say when the end user made a request says, I want the login user, they will have view option, they will have modification option. That way, those kind of component, those kind of function components standing over there, they need to be also be part of this authentication. Okay, so right here. Once you're able to access here, for you to find a authoritative source about those kind of people job, what kind of things you need? you definitely need a search, right? And if I told you there is an existing API that able to for you to search all those kind of information, definitely those lines definitely will be looks like this, right? Correct? Look at those kind of line I point out there. So for the search, for the authentication, so when somebody log in there, when there is a search function, they need to make the search function as an option for them as a default. But for telephone display name, this is kind of advanced operation step, right? For them to go over there to those things. Okay, so now we talk kind of a bit background about this tech tool, what this tech tools gonna be, stand over there, and what kind of things it can do. The second thing is, once you have this tech tool, you need another one. Then I just make this authentication box a little bit bigger. The authentication will be another type of subsystem. Do you still remember the last time I introduced you about the microservices? Any idea about what is the microservices? No?
So are you suggesting that we're going to have different containers for this authentication, or?
Yes.
Okay.
By using the microservices structure for your application, you can cut that entire project into many small component pieces. Just like here, I gave a author here. So for the author, it definitely is just for verifying people access, login access, right? So verifying. The only thing this authentication subsystem is doing the only verification step here. And for verifying the verification, where the data come from? The data come from here. The online directory. And for our school, the online directory, give me a second, my keyboard's running low battery.
No worries.
Okay, I have my keyboard back. Let me see if it works. Okay, it works. Already, so have this verification. So for our CSUSP, every online directory, just like me, I have a record there. So all those kind of record will be updated every night, which means if somebody left, then at the PeopleSoft, the data will be marked as inactive there. Then the online directory will get updated. So for the verification, the only thing I need to do is to search this kind of online directory. So if I'm going to add someone into the authentication, this kind of portal there, I only need to do is just go to search online directory, see if someone's exists over there. Then I add them into a right authentication pool. I'll show you an example here. I made a authentication, those kind of subsystem. And you can see for those kind of system, I all those kind of system I integrate with SSO there. So, okay. I'm kind of logging there. So once I log in, this is something called workflow. I've made a portal for workflow. For someone wants to get access to the online, the on-base file tool or the on-base user group, the first thing is those people need to be in those kind of department group. Once they're in the department, then I just go here to add that particular person into a specific in the project there. That way they're able to access there. File tool. So the first thing is they need to pick what department, the login user, the department, what kind of department the login user belongs to. Like say if I say I belong to the financial aid. So from the financial aid, I definitely can search something there. If I'm not in the financial aid, I definitely not able to search those things. For example, if I back to say I'm in account payable, even I can access here, but I get nothing data showing here because once you click the apply, there is a request get sent to this portal to check. Am I? Come on, I'm in there. It just there's no data. Sorry. I just in there, but I so the account payable they just don't have data there. Let me just see. I just move myself out of from the financial. If I move myself out of from the financial, also move myself from here. I move myself out. Okay, back to financial aid. I'm here. You already see I was able to search those kind of data there, but what about now? Come on. Oh, session. Sorry about that. Definitely about the session. I need to into the incognito because I share the session. Once I close there, the sessions not get cleaned in. See, I'm not able to get onto this kind of portal. I no longer be there. See how those kind of authentication, subsystem works over there?
Yeah.
Get back to here. Okay, this is how those kind of authentication works over there. So now, as we describe here, how many system we need? Guys, how many system we need here? Look at this kind of diagram, how many system we need?
For the whole system?
Yes. How many microservices no we need here?
Sorry?
How many microservices no as a subsystem container? How many we need?
I'm not sure.
2. I just literally show you. This is a 1 for the authentication. And this is the second one for the portal. See, I can literally just change this name to Tech2 and change this to Tech2 permission portal. See, we just need 2. Now how, for those kind of 2 subsystems, how are they going to communicate with each other?
With another microservice?
No, not. How these 2 completely split systems talk to each other.
Does it start with an A?
Say one more time.
Does it start with an A?
Yes.
Okay, it's is it ATJ or is it AJT?
It's
That's what we-
API.
ATI. Okay, I was like,
API, application program, programming interface.
yeah. Okay.
API. Okay, now here's the assignment. Pay attention. Go to your go to the GitHub, your repository. Create 2 repository. One name called Tech2. One name called got it? Repeat again. Go to your GitHub repository, create 2 private repository. One called Tech2, one called Tech2 permission. I'm here just create that. Tech2 private add readme. Say even add key ignore template. No license needed. Hit create repository. Okay, this is called Tech2. Then go to create another one. Another new repository called Tech2 mission. Still private, add readme, add key, ignore, Maven, because we will create a Maven Java project. Create repository. Again, this is an assignment. You need to create these 2 repository and at least build some kind of basic in the project configuration. Now, the next step would be you have your repository get created, right? Now, here's another one. Click into one of it. Click the code. Choose the SSH. Copy the command line. Went to a folder. If you have the GitHub installed, you can just right click on those kind of empty space, then click git bash here. Then git clone this repository to your local project folder. Clone it, it will ask you for the SSH key. I will let you know a little bit later now. Now let me just finish that 2 preparatory clone. Okay, so from now, I have everything get cloned. Let me see, where's the, okay, right here. I have 2 projects get cloned. As you can see here, I will refresh. It's called Tech Tool T, start from T here, Tech Tool permission. So from now on, the first 2 weeks, we are going to focus on this Tech Tool permission. So this is Tech Tool permission. Remember this name. No, not remember this name. I supposed to tell you where to go set up the SSH key for the GitHub. So first thing is once you log into here, click the setting, click this SSH and GPG keys. So here's the key. I don't need this one, no longer need. Okay, so how to generate a key? You can go online, search, generate SSH key. For this key, there's a specific command. I would suggest you always just type this line. Type this line to the GitHub. So you definitely need to open from your Windows machine. You copy this command to here. Copy this command here. Come on, do not give me that. Copy. Okay, you copy here, you hit enter. Do not change anything, just all the way enter to the end until when it asks you for a password, then you give a password over there. Otherwise, keep everything other setting as the default, don't change it. Once you have the key generated through this kind of bash terminal window, close this terminal to reopen a new one. That way, those kind of SSH key will be refreshed and add into the memory. So that way it won't, when you call the Git clone, it won't, unrecognize where the link is, and the request and the key pair, compared to. Okay, right here. Okay, next things, we're going to set up a project. So for building Maven project, this is the Eclipse. Before you have the Eclipse running, the first thing you need to install, because you are a student, you can directly go to the Oracle Java 1.8. Remember, not 11, JDK Java 1.8 JDK download. So you come here, download the JDK 1.8. Let me see 1.8. This is Java 19, 17. Okay, you can download this 19, but I still recommend to download the 1.8. I don't really like the 19. Java JDK download for Windows. This one. This is the Open JDK. No. Another thing, if you're not able to find the Oracle Java 1.8 JDK, you can come here to this this is called another Java version. This is a free version. It's a OpenJDK. Then for Windows, download this version. After you download it, do not use the MSI. Download this zip file. Once you download it, you will go to this C drive, go to program file, download the Java. If you don't have a Java folder, create a Java folder. Then through this JDK 11, this version in here. When you look at here, why I'm using the 11.01, because as I work for a company, I cannot use JDK 1.8 because 1.8 it charge you a license fee. So I have to use this JDK OpenJDK version. So once you have the JDK unzipped here, the second thing you will do is go to the property, then environment variables. For Maven, for you to run everything on your local, you need 3 home. The first home would be the Apache. You need to, once you unzip the Apache, you need to point this Catalina home to this folder. If it's Java, you need to create a Java home point to this JDK 11 folder. The same thing for the Maven home. Once you download the Maven as a zip file, unzip from anywhere, you need to point this Maven home to there. How to verify all those things get correct installed? Open a bash, just type Java version. You see this Maven-v, and for Tomcat, you just go to here, go to Bing. If you're able to click, once you click this one, this startup.sh, if this able to run there, which means you're successful, configure the Tomcat on your Windows, and you can just click the startup to start. But this is not a big deal because we will use this Eclipse as a as an IDE for you to create those kind of project. The second thing would be for the IDE, Eclipse. See if you can download this version. Download the Eclipse J2EE version, which is this version. Because this is a recall, so you don't need to worry about you miss any step. Once you download this, hit this download, you unzip, you're able to start this one. Got it? So far, so good?
Yes.
Okay. So for you to create a Maven project, you right click those kind of empty spot, you right click it, hit new, hit others, find the Maven project, hit next. Nothing changed. Next. Now there is something we need to change. Maven archetype.web. We need this version. Apache template version. Don't choose other, choose this Apache version template. Hit next. Because this is a SysUSB, how you going to make your folder naming convention? The first thing is always start with com. The second one start for you, start as your first name, last name, initial there. Then, because this is tech2 permission, you can see, like for myself, I would use VA, but for you, you definitely use, right? Because this is a real project. I'm just here to, see if I can transfer this kind of knowledge to you. That way you can get a better understand how those kind of computer engineering, those kind of design things looks like. So once you have everything set up, hit finish. Okay, you have this permission here. Let's get back to the Java project, tech2. Did I miss one? Yeah, I missed one. I missed the 1S. Cannot delete content read only. Okay, how to delete it? Close first, then hit delete, and hit OK. If it's not get deleted, come here, hit the delete. I'm going to copy this name, redo it again. New other Maven project, hit next, search for Maven archetype, web, Apache template, hit next, put this name over there, hit finish. Okay, so you still remember I git cloned this project here, right? This was the git cloned down, and you can see this is the setting there. Once I have that, everything's good here, you can embed it. But once you have this tech2 git Maven set up, there are several things we need to do. We need to go to the build path. The first thing, we go to build path. You choose this libraries, check this GRE system library, hit edit, choose another one. If you don't have this installed, you just hit install GRE, hit install GRE, you add the standard VM, then you hit next, then you will see that library there. So you change this one, hit OK, apply, then go to the compiler, change this to 1.8, hit apply and close, yes. Okay, everything's done. So far, so good, right?
Yes. Professor, is this recording going to be posted on Canvas?
Yes.
Okay.
So once we have this project installed, the second thing is we're going to set up a Tomcat. We create, so the first time when you open the Eclipse, if you don't see the services window, you just go to the window, show views. Then from here, just check, just type the part of the name to the servers. Then you select it. Once you select it, you will see this tab. So once you click here, you see here new, the new server. Then you choose one. So if you download Tomcat 1.8, you choose this Tomcat 1.8, then you put it here. Change the server name to tech2 permission, then hit finish. You're finished, you will see the Tomcat get completed, right? So from here, you need to add and remove, hit this one. Come on. No, that one's not the first. The second says, remember, once you create the Tomcat server, you double click this one, change this use workspace metadata to Tomcat installation. Then you save it, There's no resource that is available to the server. Okay, might be. Once you have that down, because this is the Tech2 permission, this is a Java Maven project. The first thing is for you to configure this project is go to the POM file. You go to the POM file, there are several things you need to work on. I'm going to open another template. Because this is gonna be a Docker project. So I'm going to line by line to explain those kind of POM file for you. So group ID, which is, what is a group ID? So you just click right here, new packages. You just put com.csusb dot tech2 permission dot configure. So the group ID, it is this package, the first two words. And artifact ID, this is the project ID. Also added up down here. This name, this artifact ID is equal to this final name. For Maven, this is a property. What means this property? It means references. I'm going to paste this here. The first thing is the project needs to be built as this encode. For the GTK version, it's 1.8. This 2 is for the project log, and these 3 is for the Spring framework. So far good? What I mean for these kind of references, it is because here, another thing for the Maven project, the Maven Java project, because it is about the JSP project, and also we need to use Spring Java annotation framework. The first thing is we need the annotation project, this package. The second thing is because in later, once you read those kind of software, no matter what the software or the electronics engineering, those kind of textbook, it will also, both of them will mention this, testing things. And this is a JUnit test package. So for Spring, so because this is a Spring project, right? So we definitely need the Spring package. Now you see, what is Maven? Maven, it is a framework for you to help you to manage your Java project, those kind of, references, right? And for the property, I put the value of property here. You see, this is a property name, Spring Framework version. So from here, you see the version I put here. This is how I manage all those kind of Spring library and version control. I use the property. So I just need to put this version here. I just need to put the version here. Then I just references here. Then all those kind of Spring library version will match to the same one. Because for Java Spring Maven project, if you have different library version, those libraries will somehow get confliction. So once we have the Spring, because we are going to use API, definitely you cannot avoid the Spring security package. And Spring Security package offers what? Can someone tell me? What Spring Security offers here for the API?
Security.
Yes, definitely security. What about here? API security, object data binding. You need those library to support. Then, once you have the Spring Git configured, security configured, we also need HappyNet. HappyNet, this is another type of Java Spring project framework. This one will help you to manage the database. Don't worry, I will paste those kind of template into my repository and then make them, public for you guys. You can download there. And for the DB, this is the MySQL DB, and this is the Oracle one. Those kind of library you need to embed it there. After that, we need JWT because this project about to call it API, right? So some of the API they require JWT, those kind of component there. Therefore, this is a Java project. It needs a UI, and I'm using the JSP. So this is the JSP component. After we have the JSP, we need the JSTL dependency as well. It is another type of JSP dependency. This one. Then we need Apache dependency for Maven to help us to manage this project. We need Apache family here. After that, because everything is those kind of communication data transaction format, we need JSON format. Then we need another thing is log. We need a log system. And you can see I'm still using those kind of references at the top. Okay, for the build, those are noise. We need to paste this type of template there. I'll just go over with you. So for the Java build, the Maven build, this is the main folder path to tell Maven all you need to do for the project, for this project compiler, those kind of to build those kind of Java file is to this direction. The resource, this resource is to tell Maven that I put the project configuration file into this path. This is the Maven Apache Maven plugin where it will help us to run the Tomcat. This is a Maven compiler. We do need a Maven compiler, otherwise you don't want to use the Maven compiler to build those kind of project. And this is the Maven, package plugin. You see here, I have two packages. For the local testing, it will run this default var. If it's a Docker execution, it runs this package. And when you look at it here, this is the var name. And you can see I use the git command, commit time, and the ID brevet and the tag to make this raw file specific when we build a Docker image. Why we need to do that? Now, here's a question. Why we need this? Nobody going to make a guess?
In order to make like commits to your repo.
No. So by the wall name, I make this format. It is in order to, when you create the Docker image, you copy the exactly file into the image rather than other to avoid, some kind of, wonky things get copied into there. It makes this particular WAR file very unique. And for you to use this same file, this kind of same format, this is the plugin for the GitHub. Then we come to here. This one is a very important one. This is a Docker image, which means you can use Maven build to directly to build a Docker image. And for Maven to build the Docker image, you need to follow to give this two file, WAR file and the WAR file name. And you can see where the WAR file located is located in the target folder. And you see, I directly copy this exactly unique name, WAR file name into Docker. You see that?
Yes.
Okay, then this is a dependency. Without this one cannot run in there. So this is another thing you need to keep in mind. For Docker, you need JavaX Activation library to support it. Okay, so for today, I only show until here. Based on what I show here, go to your GitHub repository to create your practice project. You don't have to follow this tech tool, but you can create something. Your project needs those kind of structure. Definitely, most of you need this kind of structure there to create your project as a main body and the authentication body there. So to access to your main software body, you need to go through the authentication body to check if it exists. So next Wednesday, I'm going to show you exactly the Spring configuration on the Java file. So far, so good?
Yes.
Okay, I'll see you Wednesday.
Okay. Thank you, Professor. Oh, I think there's a question in the chat, Professor.
Okay, I'll extend another week there.
Professor, you also said that presentations would start week 10.
Yeah, because I was sick.
Oh, so you're gonna push it back?
Yeah, I sick. I need to move into another week.
Okay. All right. So not this Wednesday, but the
Next
Wednesday
week,
after that?
probably.
Okay.
Yeah, probably next week.
Okay. Thank you.
Alrighty.
Professor.
Yeah, see you next week. I'll see you Wednesday.